Hi everybody, it's me, Andy, again. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about radios and radio etiquette. There are about 20 of you that are assigned to a radio, and I just want to give you a few pointers on them and kind of let you know how what we're going to need from you. So the radios look like this, and they're all pre-programmed. So to turn the radio on, and you should have your name, if you have a designated radio, will be on the antenna. There's also a radio number. When you pick up your radio, you'll be sitting in a charger in the Krasel main building. And then at the end of the day, it's real important that you get it back on the charger. There are a couple little tabs here, slots that need to fit into the charger. When you slide it in, it should go from a green light to a red light, showing that it is charging. They're a little fiddly about getting them in the base, but just make sure you get it in and properly charged. So first off, turn the radio on by turning this big knob here.
Channel mode.
And it will come up and say channel mode. As you look at the display, it should say Krasel 1 up at the top. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. Krasel 1 up at the top. So your radio is basically ready to go. One thing to watch out for is that this volume knob tends to get turned and turned down, so sometimes you might not be able to hear people. You make sure it's all the way up, okay? Now, to talk on the radio, you're gonna push on the side next to the antenna. There's 3 buttons, an orange button, a big black button, and a little black button. You're gonna push the big black button to talk. It's called a PTT button. And it's real important that you give it about half a second before you start talking, because it takes that long to open up the channel, and if you start talking right away, people are going to miss the first part of what you have to say. And then also hold the radio about 6 to 8 inches away from your mouth. You don't need to hold it really close. And then you're going to push the button, wait about a half a second, and start talking. A little bit of radio etiquette. When you're calling somebody, always start with their name and then your name. So if I was calling Keith McCoy, I would say Keith from Andy, and don't do it the other way around, Andy from Keith, because there's going to be a lot of radio traffic, and what Keith might not hear anything before he hears his name. So it's just a little bit of etiquette there. So always start with the name of the person you're calling and then your name. Also, just be aware of other conversations that might be going on the radio, and if somebody's in the middle of a conversation, wait for them to finish that if at all possible. The radio traffic should be very short and concise. We've got a lot of people using radios this year, so make sure that, you know, I kind of I think of it like a text message, 2 or 3 back and forth messages on the conversation is about enough. If it's more than that, just give them a call. You should have their number in your packet of information. Okay, so one more thing, if you call somebody, you talk to them, and you give them a message that is something that they can easily acknowledge, like let's say I'm calling Brian Kemp because there's a trash can that's overflowing. I would say Brian from Andy, and Brian would come back and say, Andy, go ahead. Say there's a trash can that's overflowing at Lake Boulevard and Broad. Instead of Brian saying, okay, I got it. One little thing is you can do 2 clicks on the mic, like that, and that's a way to acknowledge that they heard the message and they're going to take care of it. I got feedback on that one. Let's try another one here. You should hear 2 clicks on the mic, and that's a way to acknowledge without actually saying it. It kind of shortens things up for us. If you run into any problems with your radio, just give me a call. There are spare batteries in the same place that we got the radios from. Probably aren't going to need them, but if you do need them, they're there. Okay? Again, any questions, give me a call, and we'll see you at the art fair.